Nigerian comedian that was talking about my performance in the movie, and he said, Will Smith is doing a Nigerian accent in his film, and the haters will say that it is no good. But I think that is not true. I think he sounds like a Nigerian with a concussion.
He said, let me ask you a couple of questions. I said, go ahead. He said, I don't think it's Nigerianitis. It could be a mild form of gonorrhea.
He's Ilizobi. He's like a UK YouTuber, and I follow him on Twitter and TikTok, and he posted a TikTok that was like, have this you know, like the Nigerian accent, and he named this girl named like Drea Knows Best, bro, and it actually made me think of like this one guy that I know who's not African in any way, but every time he approaches me, he goes, Ijomao. And I'm like, oh, child, you're literally from Jamaica. You're from Jamaica. Ooh, why are you doing that? I've been me who speaks with a Canadian accent, who was born here. Okay, like if I'm speaking with like my African accent, it's because I'm talking to Africans, or you know, like on a joke tip. But generally, I speak exactly how I'm talking right now. But my African queen,
No. The reason most Africans look at Nigerians the way we look at you is because, frankly, we're just scared. You guys are loud. And you're big. The number of years has been coming, I must tell you, has mentored and taught me. It's matured me. Even the way I approach business, the way I negotiate now. Sometimes I find myself in the boardroom and I think to myself, switch to Nigerian Fusio. And it works. And so, on behalf of me, my firm, and the taxes I have not paid for what you have taught me here, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here once again.
A Nigerian accent. Engine.
Engine. CHURCH. It's church. Charlie, that's church. Where's the O? That's church. Where is the E? Church. Where's the E? Let's ask this guy. Guy, what is CHURCH? That's church. It's church. Like to charge your phone.
Hello. I just want to remind you that anybody that will cause a nightmare to me, I'll deal with you. Even your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your daughter, or
I love the Nigerian accent, because like the Nigerian accent does to English what English desperately needs. Like English is a very stiff, sort of boring language, you know. It's just like, hello, my name is Trevor, you know. If in English you're just like, did you see the traffic outside? It was really bad, and you know what I mean. And then like when Nigerians come inside, did you see that traffic outside, huh? Are you talking about that thing? Can you believe something like that, huh? It's like, you know. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so how many of us knew that the Nigerian accent was ranked the 5th sexiest accent in the world? I remember I made a video where I actually mentioned this fact, that the Nigerian accent was actually ranked one of the sexiest in the world, and people are actually finding it cool now, to the point where even non-Nigerians now mimic the Nigerian accent, try to sound Nigerian in how they talk, how they do things, because it's actually cool now. I think we've got to the point where it is, you know, despite all of the challenges, the negatives, and all of that, being Nigerian now is cool, to be honest. And that includes our accent. It is not just our entertainment, it is not just our fashion sense, it is not just our food, but even our accent, where we speak. And in that video I made, I mentioned the fact that there was a time where Nigerians were trying to sound American, they were trying to sound British, right? And now our accent is the cool thing now. I think that's incredible. Anyways, okay, so now in that clip where we watched in the beginning, where the lady was actually talking about how some non-Nigerians try to sound Nigerian, she was talking about a Jamaican guy who's always trying to sound Nigerian and she finds it cringe and blah, 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 blah. Sis, Nigerians don't find it cringe, because I actually went to read the comments under that post, and all of Nigerians were like, no, we find it cool, it's fine, okay? It's flattery. Imitation is the best form of flattery, so we are fine with it. And truly, I don't think there's any Nigerian that will actually complain about you trying to sound like them. Most Nigerians will think it's cool. So leave it, sis. It's fine. It's fine. And particular clip, the man was saying, oh, sometimes I tell myself, let me switch to Nigerian, and it works. When I sound loud, I'm assertive. He called it aggressive, but I won't call it that. It works when I switch to Nigerian. In that case, now you could see that to him, it wasn't the Nigerian accent. To him is more of an attitude, right? And so sometimes you notice when people want to sound Nigerian, they start to speak loudly. Sometimes the way they speak will not even really change, but they'll just increase the volume. They start to sound loud. To them, that's Nigerian accent. The Nigerian accent is increasing volume, right? And for some people, the Nigerian accent is attitude, sounding confident, sounding assertive, right? Sounding like I'm here to get what I want. So for some people, I think the Nigerian accent also varies. It's not just about how we talk, but it is attitude itself, right? And so let's talk about the movies, right? Let's talk about the different movies where people have tried to sound Nigerian, like the clip from Will Smith's movie that I played in the beginning as well, where he played a doctor of a Nigerian descent, or a Nigerian doctor who developed the cure to a disease and stuff like that. And they said he went through rigorous training in order to sound Nigerian and all of that. I have to say, I think the funniest part was even when he was mimicking the comedian that said he sounded like a Nigerian with a concussion. Even then, he still did not really sound Nigerian per se. It was almost like the typical way you would just believe an African sounds, but it almost sounded almost Eastern, like Eastern Africa. I can't explain, but we have to give him great for effort. I don't think there is actually a one accent that is Nigerian, because everybody sounds different based off of where they are from. Okay, so if you're Igbo, if you're Yoruba, if you're Hausa, if you're Calabar, if you're from Calabar, if you're Efik, if you are from Benin, our accent kind of varies slightly. But I think that those are little differences that maybe only fellow Nigerians will notice. I think to the world, we all have one accent, which is the Nigerian accent. But in the actual fact, there are different accents within Nigeria, dependent on where we are from, what part of Nigeria we grew up in, and things like that. For example, this brother here that was saying how to pronounce engine with the Nigerian accent, and he said engine. That was how he was pronouncing it. But the truth is that a Yoruba person or somebody from the West would most likely say engine, the way I am pronouncing it right now. In fact, a person from the West or Yoruba person would definitely call it engine, not engine, because again, this is where we grow up and our accents come in. So engine, pronounce it as engine, probably be specific to somebody from the East, or maybe an Igbo person, or dependent on where the person grew up in Nigeria. So for some people from different parts of Nigeria, they will pronounce engine as engine, or dependent on their accent. But some parts of Nigeria would in fact call it engine. But specifically saying a Nigerian accent or Nigerian people will call engine is not correct, because again, that is specific to where you are from in Nigeria. So that is what I mean when I talk about the varieties in how we pronounce, even though there is a lot of similarities in our accents as well. But in any case, movies wise, there's been, I think you guys remember this movie as well, the Woman King, something like that. Yes, that was based on the Dahomey warriors, the all female or all women warriors of the Dahomey. Incredibly amazing history. Dahomey is in present day Benin. That is the southern part of present-day Benin in Nigeria. And the movie starred actors like Viola Davis, John Boyega, and other incredibly amazing actors. And it was based off of that. And, everybody in the movie, of course, were trying to speak in a way that should sound Nigerian, because, of course, the movie is based off of the history of the people who live in present-day Nigeria. And, we've had other movies like that where people trying to sound Nigerian. And I'm going to be honest, some of them, like this white guy, I did not understand what that was. I'm sure maybe there are some Nigerians who might sound that way, but I'm Nigerian now and you hear me talk, right? I don't think there are a lot of people who would want to make a Nigerian accent in a movie or anything. I would talk the way I'm talking right now because they believe it's not Nigerian, right? So there is so much variety in the way we speak, And so Nigeria is such a diverse landscape. Nigeria is such a beautiful, beautiful landscape where our accent truly vary dependent on where we are from, right? So if you are Yoruba, if you're, as I said before, if you're Igbo, if you're Hausa, if you're from the north, if you're from the east, if you're from the south, if you're from the middle belt, if you are from, it depends on where you're from, really. Some people are Igbo, but they grew up in Lagos. Their accent might be slightly different from an Igbo person who also grew up in the east. A Yoruba person who grew up in the north, accent might be slightly different from a Yoruba person who grew up in the west, where the Yorubas predominantly are, right? And a northerner or somebody who is an Hausa or Fulani person who grew up in Lagos would have a different accent from someone who grew up. And but let us agree that there are some universal similarities that most Nigerians would have. But what I've known, anyways, it's interesting to see how different people, different countries are finding it cool to want to sound Nigerian, to imitate Nigeria, or to actually learn what the accent is like. It's interesting. Anyways, if you are not proud of your Nigerian accent before, this is your note to be very, very proud, right? Wherever you go, do not hide that fact. Speak your accent confidently, or even though I think most Nigerians do anyway, so I don't even think it's necessary. But anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to join the membership. The button for that is down below. You can also click on the super thanks button to support my channel. The button is also right there. And that's it, guys. I'll see you on the next one. I love you guys so much. Bye, guys.